friend, if you're wondering exactly what's included in the Profitable Nutritionist program, you're in the right place. I'm going to bring you through a quick explanation of the program components, how it's all delivered, everything that you need to know to answer the most common questions that we get about the program, so you can then make an informed decision about whether or not this is the next best step for you. The Profitable Nutritionist program, as you may already know, is the proven system for growing a six-figure holistic nutrition practice without relying on social media, even if you're starting from scratch. It is based on what we call the repeatable revenue process. As you can see on this little graphic, we have 5 stages in the repeatable revenue process to get you to 6 figures. Now, stage 1 is all about making foundational decisions. That's why it is at the bottom of the mountain. We have to have a strong foundation in your business, and that means you need to decide on a few things. We have frameworks and very easy systems for you to make these decisions really quickly in stage 1, but ultimately, here's what you're going to do. If you haven't already, you are going to decide on your business name and the branding for your business. You are going to decide on a niche or no niche, depending on how well established your business is right now. Maybe you already have a really well established niche, but maybe you don't. And maybe you're thinking, I can't get my business going until I know exactly what my niche is, and I have to find the perfect niche. And there's so much niche drama that goes on for people. We make this very simple. We're going to decide yes niche or no niche and what it is going to be if you decide you're going to have one. And again, we have a framework for that. But I want to set your mind at ease that so many members of this program are very, very successful in their practices without having a well-established niche. They just get started, they help the people, and then their niche becomes clear over time. So if you don't have a niche right now, that is not a problem. We're going to make that decision together in stage 1. We are also going to decide on your easy yes offer. Okay. This means what you are actually selling to the humans that you are helping. What are the components of that offer? How do you guarantee that they are going to be successful? So many things that we figure out in your offer, including your pricing. Get really specific on your pricing. You are not going to be wobbling back and forth on what the pricing is. We get into that in stage 1 and we make those final decisions. We also make decisions on your client process. This is the first version of your client process. And again, depending on how established your business is, maybe you already have a really well-oiled client process, in which case going through these frameworks is going to be just a good little audit for you. But if you're starting from scratch and right now you're thinking, I don't know exactly what I do with my clients. I haven't worked with any clients yet, or I haven't worked with enough clients yet to know exactly what my process is with them. Let your mind be at ease because we cover all of that in stage 1. You're going to make the decisions on what that first version of your client process is going to look like. Same with your sales plan. We're going to get that all figured out so you have no uncertainty about what your sales process looks like and what happens when you get people that are interested in working with you. We iron all of that out in stage 1, including your work hours and your calendar and your time boundaries so that you actually know when all of this is going to get done. And you are going to be amazing at time management after stage 1. Now, stage 2 is where we get into validating your offer. And this is where you make at least $1,000. Now, for a lot of people in the program, just their next client is much more than $1,000, but we had to put a milestone on it. So it's $1,000. To get to stage 3, you have to have made at least $1,000. So in stage 1, you are making that next sale, making your first 1K. Okay. You are going to learn how to sell anything to anyone. Now, I put dollar signs next to that bullet point because I have had so many people that said this one lesson inside the repeatable revenue process, which is all video lessons, by the way. I don't think I mentioned that, but all of these processes and all of these stages are delivered with on-demand videos. I guess I probably should have led with that. But I've heard so many times that people said that this one video inside stage 2 was well worth the entire admission in the program. So this is how to sell anything to anyone. It is not something you've ever heard before. I guarantee that, but it works every time. And then you are going to also figure out your marketing process, your sales process, okay? And that's all happening very, very customized to you based on what your strengths are, based on what you like to do. If you are introverted, of course, you are not going to create a marketing plan that has you going to 5 networking meetings a week in person. That would be a disaster business for you. We would never do that. So all that to say, we have different strategies for marketing that work really well, have a lot of member feedback on different things that get clients really quickly, how to execute them, and we give you some direction in here on how to choose a path that is going to be in alignment with your skill set already, what comes naturally to you. That all happens in stage 2. Same with your sales process. You're really going to iron that out in stage 2 so you know what to say to people when they come to you to buy and they have some questions and they have some objections and their human brain has some doubts. You're going to know how to handle those as well because we address all of that in stage 2. And to round out stage 2, we set some goals, but we do it in a much different way than you've ever set revenue goals before. Typically, people set goals that are way too high and then they feel super defeated that they don't reach them, or they shy away from ever setting any goals because they fear that disappointment that they'll have if they don't reach them. Both of those are the wrong way to set goals. We want to set goals that are actually going to drive your business in the right direction with the correct metrics that you want to be tracking. You don't worry about what that even means because we teach you step by step how to do it in stage 2. In stage 3, you have now graduated. You've made $1,000. You are well on your way to having a consistent process that is bringing in clients, converting clients, and delivering to them at a really high level. So in stage 3, you got to up your game a little bit on efficiency. And this is where you're going to hone your sales processes. You're going to make at least $10,000 in stage 3 because that is what's required to move into stage 4. So here in stage 3, you are going to be creating sustainable systems. That means auditing all of your current systems or lack thereof and creating the ones that you need to have. Ultimately, in stage 3, what you create is you making more money, but doing less actual stuff. Okay. So we're really going to be efficient with your time. We're going to cut out most of the to-do list that you're doing, and we're going to really trim it down to what needs to happen so that you are creating more easiest clients with advanced marketing tactics that are bringing in the right people consistently. And then you are selling to them with ease. They're very warm and ready for the sales before you have a sales conversation. And we do that with a very specific sales call framework that you will learn in stage 3. And to round out stage 3, we are going to also have this messaging that is working to bring in those easiest clients. And we are going to duplicate that online for you. So in stage 3, the suggestion is that you get to work on your website. A very simple website, nothing crazy here. Very simple website with 4 to 5 pages that actually converts passersby into paying clients for you. There is a very specific way to put your messaging on your website and to lay out the buttons and to have the calls to action that is actually going to have people booking with you and buying from you. We know what that is after having so many people go through this process. So you're going to learn that exact website framework. You're going to get templates to create it in stage 3, and super fun, you are going to have ChatGPT prompts that basically has AI write the copy for you. After all that is said and done, you are bringing in the clients consistently and you are converting them. So you have made at least $10,000, which means you are heading into stage 4. I want to say before I get into stage 4, the way that the program is laid out makes it very, very clear for you on what milestones you need to hit before you go take in more information. The last thing that we want is for you to be always in consumption mode and watching videos, but not implementing from those videos. So we have this entire process is laid out in a format where it is ready for you as soon as you join the program. You can jump in and watch all the videos if you want. However, we put some guardrails on and say, please don't watch the rest of this content until you have done this milestone, because you don't need to worry about this stuff yet. You only need to worry about these things. You are going to love that if you are someone who feels really overwhelmed right now by all of the things that you could be doing in your business. And so you do nothing or you do very little because it's just like, oh my gosh, there's so much that I could do. I don't know where to start. We make it very, very easy for you to stay focused. And we say, do these things, don't even move on until you do these things. So when you have moved on to stage 4, that means that you have followed the directions in the program and you have made at least $10,000. So now we are having fun. Okay, we're having fun. You are working with clients. You have actual data to make decisions on based on what's working for those clients, based on what's working in your marketing, based on what's working in your sales process. And so we are going to do more of those things that are working. We are going to do no more of the things that aren't working. And because of that, your business continues to get more efficient. So in stage 4, we are introducing even more processes for you to make that more efficient. And we are reminding you every step of the way how to avoid what we call the 100K quicksand. The 100K quicksand is where you do way too much, you spend your time on the wrong things, and you actually don't get to 6 figures. And this is where, candidly, a lot of people stall out in their business is at this stage. And it's not because they aren't great practitioners, and it's not because people aren't interested in what they have to offer, and it's not because they're not good at sales. It's honestly because they got in their own way and they made things way harder than they needed to be. You're not going to do that though, because you are going to follow the process in stage 4, including how to avoid this, and all is going to be great for you. Then you get into stage 5, which is 6 figures. Super great place to be, by the way. And as a practitioner, then you are thinking about this thing called scaling. How do we do that? Well, we have a streamline and scale roadmap that we teach you in stage 5 to get to multiple 6 figures and beyond. All of this is waiting for you inside the repeatable revenue process modules that you have access to as soon as you join the program. I know I took a ton of time there to explain exactly what's going on, but we get a lot of questions about what is that exactly is in these videos, and am I going to learn how to do sales? Am I going to learn how to get my next client? Am I going to learn how to make the process better for my clients? Yes, all of that is included. Every step of the way, you are going to be told this is what you need to focus on now, and this is what you need to focus on later. So to be very clear, we pride ourselves on keeping the overwhelm low through the repeatable revenue process, and that's all through videos. Now you also have a workbook that goes along with these videos, and you get access to this workbook in digital form. It is fillable, so you can jump in today into the program, download the workbook and start filling it out digitally if you want to. We also have this hard copy. I guess I should keep this held up for you. We have the hard copy available that you can print out or buy a bound copy from our warehouse if you are more of a paper and pen kind of person. So that goes along with the repeatable revenue process modules. The third component of the program is our live weekly Q&A calls, which are group coaching calls. So this is your opportunity every single week to get on a live call with me and our team of support coaches in the TPN program and get your questions answered, because questions will come up as you go through the modules of the program. As you go through these videos, you will probably have questions. We want to make sure that you are fully supported in getting those questions answered in real time. And also, we want to give you opportunity to collaborate with your peers who are also in the program, because actually the most valuable part of the program is the fifth thing on the list here. I will highlight it. And that is a combination of the live weekly coaching calls and the lounge, which is our private community. This is where the magic is happening. The private community called the lounge is our members only area. It is a written forum, not a Facebook group, but similar to that. And this is where you can get coaching and Q&A at all times from your peers and from our support coaches and from me in the group when you have questions that come up between live calls. It is also where people are actively collaborating and giving and getting referrals all the time. This is a very high value group. These are people that are actually making money as health and wellness professionals. This is not a forum where, I guess I'll just say it, a little bit of shade here to the free Facebook groups, but this is not where people are complaining about how hard their business is. This is not where people are complaining about how hard their clients is. This is where people are sharing, hey, this is what's working for me right now. Hey, this is who I just hired to get this automation set up in my business and practice better. Hey, here's where I just hired someone to do this, and sharing those resources. So it's also, like I said, where a lot of referrals are happening for people in the group. So somebody's like, hey, I don't work with kids with autism. Who does? Who wants this referral? That kind of thing. That's just a specific example. But I think it's helpful to know what you can expect in a community inside of a program, because they're all different. So I want to be very clear that the culture that we have inside the Profitable Nutritionist Program private community here in the lounge is very collaborative. There are TPN events that we have. We do workshops, we do deep dives, we do lots of stuff in the lounge, but also there are member-led events. This is a pretty tight community that you are entering into. There are book clubs. There's all kinds of stuff going on in the lounge. That's where you find all of that good stuff. I think I kind of skipped over number 4 here, which is the coaching replay vault. So I do want to touch on this before I move on. Every single live call that we have every week in the program, and that we have had for years and years, is located inside a searchable coaching replay vault. These are videos in your member portal that is searchable. So when you do have a question on something really nuanced, like changing your pricing, do I raise my rates, renewal conversations, those really specific things that come up in your business, maybe in between coaching calls, and it's a few days until the next coaching call, you can go search into our database of past calls. Because this is all searchable, you can type that into the search bar and it will queue up every past call that we've ever had where we have touched on that exact topic and coached on it, because in hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of coaching calls at this point, we have talked about a lot of things, pretty much everything, and you will find the answers to your questions there as well. So that's really, really valuable. We also have the private members only podcast. So for many of our members, they never come live to a coaching call, but they tune into the replays of the calls in audio form in the private members only podcast feed. That is where we upload specific content just for TPN and the replays of every single coaching call weekly into a members only feed that you get access to when you join the program. And then you can listen to all of the high quality coaching and all of the resources in your AirPods or whatever you listen in while you're driving, while you're working out, cooking, wherever it is that you listen to podcasts. We also have lots of bonus resources. And the way I like to describe this is the repeatable revenue process and the modules and the step-by-step instruction and frameworks that you get in those modules is the cake. And the bonuses is the icing. So we want to make sure that the majority of your time is spent on the cake. And depending on how you like to eat your desserts, maybe you feel very differently. However, I think that this is an important way to differentiate the two. Okay. The cake is the most important part here with the process. And then we have the icing. And this is the deep dives. This is the bonus resources that you're going to plug into that are very robust in the program, but they're for specific times in your business when you need them. These are, like I have on here, plug and play templates for building out your website or for scripts for doing a sales call. Maybe your sales calls are going great. That's not something that you need to dive into. Well, you're not going to choose that bonus resource. You're not going to dive into that right now. Maybe that is what you really need to dive into, in which case then you are going to have that bonus, which is the icing on the cake, to go do a deep dive on. How do you overcome objections on a sales call? All of that. All that to say, we have tech tutorials. We have the 3K in 30 days challenge. We have copywriting bonuses. We have AI bonuses. We have lots of frameworks, templates, scripts, things that are going to make your life easier when needed are included in your bonus resources. And those are totally available for you as soon as you join the program. So you might be wondering, what is the structure of what is covered in the program? I like to explain it this way. It is a 3-prong approach. Okay, which is sustainable strategy. You get a lot of step-by-step strategy in the program, but you also get what I think is actually more important and what is missing from most programs that you get online, which is the mindset component. Because we can have the best plan, and if we don't actually have the correct mindset to implement and do the plan, what good is the plan? And this is really important because the same thing comes up for your clients. You can give them the best plan, but if they don't actually do it, if it's Friday night and they order pizza instead of eating what was on the plan, what good was the plan? So we have to have the strategies for addressing the mindset and for staying on our plan as a business owner and working towards our goals, so we can also be having you support your health clients towards their goals. Because the same mindset coaching tools and strategies and frameworks that you learn in the program to actually meet your goals in your business are what you are going to then teach to your clients, so that they get better results, so that their mindset is of much higher caliber and they are going to be in it for the long haul. So they're going to get better results. You're going to get a lot more referrals sent your way. And all of that is by design. So yes, we have the strategy in the program, but we also have the mindset and the coaching components, which I hope that you steal and you use with your clients. I always say, steal my best stuff, take it and go use it with your clients. That's what it's here for. And then we have the accountability and the personalized support to actually get your questions answered when you have it. That's what I mean by personalized support. So we do have the human component here. This is not just a digital course where we expect you to go figure it all out on your own and hope for the best. No, this is a very high touch program where you do have help when you need it. And you also have the accountability to continue pushing through when you do get stuck, because you will. At some part of the process, you'll probably get stuck and you'll need to raise your hand and say, hey, I need some help here. I need some coaching. And that's what we're there for as the coaching team. So we have the strategy, we have the mindset to actually keep going and implement the strategy. And then we have the personalized support and the accountability of having a group and a team and basically an entire room of colleagues that get what you're doing, that understand the language that you're speaking and can help you to stay accountable to those goals. I would like you to know that the program is about 70% mindset and 30% strategy. Okay, so yes, the strategy is there, but we are always going to be coaching you on your mindset around executing the strategy. And I highly recommend that you are doing the same for your clients. So when you're thinking of your client process, my hope is that you realize it's 30% strategy of you giving that to them, and then 70% of the work for you is to help them to implement the strategy. That's the mindset piece. So how long are you in the program? What does that look like? We get a lot of questions on that, so I want to make sure it's very clear. You have 12 months unlimited access to everything that I have talked about as soon as you join the program. You don't have to wait for anything to unlock. It's all available for you right now as soon as you join. Optionally, after 12 months, we don't kick you out of the program. You can choose to purchase continued access after 12 months, which is a low monthly fee, and you stay in the program and keep working on it. Now, our hope is by the 12-month mark, you probably have graduated into one of the more advanced programs. And at that point, you actually have complimentary access to everything in TPN. You keep access there. But if that hasn't happened yet, we are happy to keep you in the program. You can purchase continued access. I also want to mention once again, this is all on demand, okay? You go at your own pace, but there's personalized support to all of these components. However, you're never going to get behind. This is all go at your own pace. You can go as quickly or as slowly as you want. We are here to support you. So the outcome here, when you put this process to work, is that you are bringing in at least 4 of your ideal clients every single month. For some people, it's more than that, but our baseline is at least 4 of your perfect, easiest clients every month. And that means you're consistently having 10K months eventually without relying on social media content creation. Have to be super clear on this, that nothing inside the Profitable Nutritionist program relies on social media posting or content creation or being active on social media whatsoever. In fact, I think that that hurts people's businesses a lot of the time. So, consistent 10K months, not relying on social media. Now, for new businesses, this means you're probably going to save 10 to 20 hours per week on trial and error that you would otherwise spend doing all of the things, creating all of the content, trying to figure out the algorithms, trying to do all of that. Well, we're going to eliminate that 10 to 20 hours a week, and we're going to have you focusing on the things that actually are going to make you money in your business instead. So this is going to save you a ton of time. If you are a more established practice, you are in luck because we are also going to help you eliminate probably up to 80% of your current work to-do list. So if you are busy and you feel like you're doing all of the things and not getting the results that you want in your business, that is because you need this process so desperately, and we are here to help you with it. We want you only working the exact hours that you want to be working. We don't want you overworking. We don't want you working nights and weekends. That's for sure. We want you to ultimately have this sustainable, scalable business structure that is going to be successful long term. And we know exactly what that looks like because we have helped hundreds and hundreds of nutritionists and health coaches to create this exact outcome already. Which means for a lot of people, they are transitioning from one-on-one practice into groups or programs or courses that sell and they scale their business that way. Others choose to keep one-on-ones in their business, but they are outsourcing the delivery of that client work to other practitioners that they bring on into their practice. Don't worry about any of that right now if you're not in stage 4 and looking at 6 figures quickly in your business. But when you get to that point, just know that we do have a process for how to do both of those things to keep your business sustainable for long-term success. Remember, with the metric that as the bigger your business gets, the less pressure it is on you. That's how we know we are scaling successfully. And then I know I've already said this, but I want to make sure it's super clear. A huge outcome of this program is that you have the mindset coaching tools and frameworks to use with your clients. So they get bigger, better, faster results and they send more referrals your way. And I'm not teaching you anything crazy. What I'm doing is I'm actually teaching you tools to help you get better results in your business and then showing you every step of the way. And this is how you're going to use it with your clients so they get better results. The investment for the program, if you have not seen this somewhere else, I just want to be really clear on how this breaks out. The investment for the program to get everything that we have talked about today is $39.96. And you break that down into 3 monthly payments of $13.32. Or you can choose to prepay for the entire year upfront, and you're going to save $4.99 when you do that. So the prepay for 12 months is $34.97. And again, we're not going to kick you out at the 12-month mark. We are happy to keep you in the program for a low monthly payment of $97 a month for continued access after the 12-month mark. But you do commit for 12 months in the program, so we can help you radically change your business and ultimately your life within 12 months together. And then if you would like to stay after that, of course, we are happy to offer you the continued access. Here is how we are going to protect your investment with what we call the 14-day earned trust guarantee. Because ultimately your investment is risk-free because we believe we should earn your trust, not just assume that we have it. So when you enroll today, you get immediate access to the complete program, the community, and the live support. Everything that I have talked about already, and you have 14 days to explore all of it. You can dig into the repeatable revenue process modules, the videos, join a live Q&A call. I hope that you start the 3K in 30 days challenge immediately. Basically, you get in there and you start implementing. But if at any point in those first 14 days you decide it's not the right fit for you, you can email us and we will refund what you paid minus the third-party processing fees that we don't control, we don't keep. Those are not charged by us. If that is the case, no hard feelings. We don't want your money unless we can help you make more of it. That is the kind of business that we run here at TPN, and it's also the kind of business that we want to help you build for yourself as well. So if you are coachable and you are an action taker, this program is going to be perfect for you, and we stand behind that 100%. But this process only works if you do. So do not join if you are not coachable and if you are not an action taker. But my friend, if you are both of those things, let's go.